Are you being the type of person you want to attract? What's your 10-year vision? Like, how many of you have your 10-year vision written down in detail? Like, how many of you have, like, 10 years from now, you have that vision written down? Part of our 10-year vision as a company is, if you ever been to Atlanta, we got this thing called the Mercedes-Benz Arena. This is basically the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is where the Falcons play. It holds 81,000 people. So part of our vision 10 years from now is filling that Mercedes-Benz Stadium for an event. And we have 81,000 Black coaches and consultants and so forth who are looking to grow. Filled. That's part of our vision. And I have a stadium on my vision doc so I can see that every day. Do you have that? It's hard to hit a target you can't see. So I have a 10-year and I also have a 3-year. So as a company, we do 3-year targets. So we got our 3-year target laid out, and then we got our 10-year. And you're seeing it every day. It's important to have that vision, because when things get hard, you got to have something to be able to keep you like, all right, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. So we're all wired for success, but many of us are just programmed for failure. God created us with everything that we require, but based on some of our backgrounds, some of the things we've been exposed to, some of the past traumas, it has just messed up our programming. So a lot of this just helps like reprogram us for the success. And then we have the mirror effect. Now the mirror effect is basically, are you being the type of person you want to attract? So the secret to attracting clients that pay premium prices is you being somebody who happily invests in premium prices. So we speak to clients all the time and they're like, look, we want to attract people who pay premium prices. Every time we attract people, they say they got to think about it, they got to pray about it, they got to do this instead of just investing. How do we attract more of the people that we want? And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, we can help you with that. Then they'll say, what does it take for you to help us? And I'll say, well, we got this program that we specialize in helping you with that. And they'll say, cool. Well, how much is it? And then we'll tell them. And then guess what they'll say? Well, I got to think about it. I got to pray about it. I got to ask somebody else about it. I need to meditate. I need to fast on it. I need to go out to the mountains, and sit there for a week and just, see what God says. All these different things versus just taking action. So I always let them know, like, hey, because that's how you're showing up, that's who you attract. Because you attract who you are. If you want to attract clients who are committed, you got to be somebody who's committed. If you want to attract clients who take action, you got to be somebody who take action, because you're going to attract who you are. The mirror effect, the mirror effect, the mirror effect. So, and then your calendar schedule. How many of you, everything is on the calendar? How many of you put a 1 in the chat if you operate based on the calendar? Like, everything is on the calendar. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Put a 3 in the chat if your calendar is like your mind, like your mental. You remember. You're like, I don't got to put it on the calendar, I can remember it. I'm telling y'all, your time is like a budget. How many of you like budget your money? Like, you got to budget your time. Like, you got 24 hours in a day. You got to like budget that. And the way that you budget that is with a calendar. So you're like, okay, this time I'll be doing this. So today, of course, we knew from 12 to 2, we're going to be doing this. After this, we got something else to do. And then I'm pretty much wrapping up and so forth, right? So it's like, you got to have it all scheduled out. Everything will just run together. So if you're doing date nights, if you got gym time, like one of my team members this morning, she was like, I just haven't found time to read. And I was like, well, you're not gonna find time. If you do, let us know so we'll know where to look. If you know how to find time, you gotta make time. And the way you make time is by sitting down with your calendar and budgeting your time appropriately and prioritizing. That is a total game changer. You gotta make time. And then you wanna have your startup and your wind down ritual. So a part of your startup ritual is the morning success ritual. Your wind down ritual is, how do you wind down in the evening? Like, how do you like shut down to get your day wrapped up to get started for the next day? And you want to have a productivity system to get it all done, because there's a lot to do. We got business, we got family, we got all the different types of stuff. Some people think that, well, if they make a lot of money and if they're an amazing entrepreneur, everything else will fall in place. And then we'll trick ourselves to say, well, I'm grinding hard for my business for my kids. And a lot of times that's just a justification, and it's total BS. So I'm gonna give you an example. So I posted this on Facebook this morning and it actually triggered some people. So basically I was like, you can't compensate for being a bad parent by being an extraordinary entrepreneur. A lot of times we think we can. We like, oh, we're gonna make a whole lot of money and that's gonna help me fill in the gaps, or me not being a present parent, or me not doing this. No, it don't work like that. We gotta like schedule the time. Otherwise, we'll begin to resent, or our kids or our family will resent us, because at the end of the day, they don't really care about like how much money you make in business. I mean, they want stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, a lot of times for those who got kids, the kids want dad or mom, not necessarily an extra 100,000 this month. But if we don't sit down with this calendar and schedule it and like lay it all out, and we design the business around the life we want, most people build their life around the business. So it's like the business, they do the life around it. It's actually the opposite way. You want to create the life, and then you build the business around the life that you want. Now, when it comes to this productivity system, is you want to focus on the 20% that drives 80% of the result. So it's 3 questions you want to ask yourself. Would this help me get more leads? Would this help me get on the phone with more quality prospects? And would this help our clients get better results? Those are the 3 questions to design your productivity system around. If your answer is no, then it's really not a priority.